Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, whichever part of the world from which you are logging in, wishing you blessings in abundance. Let us sit a few moments just contemplating where we are, the present moment in which we can establish ourselves through mindfulness. Being aware of your body and its position, base of the body, the foundation, and the spine, that beautiful flag post on which our flag can fly high and free. The alignment of the lower part of the body and the spine and the head and neck. Being aware of your body position and being aware of the breath as it comes in and goes out in a very calm, slow, deep, mindful manner. Bring your palms together in the Namaskar Mudra as we invoke the great masters of the yoga tradition. Tadparam paryaya vidmahe Jnanalingeshwaraya dhimahi tanno guruhu prachodayate Om Yogamashi Dr. Swami Geetananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Starting off the day with contemplation is always a good idea. And I see that the first two to log in are Dr. Meena and Sumita. Thank you for being with me and welcoming all the others who are slowly coming online. Starting to get a bit hot these days. I've been out cycling a bit and it is getting hot. Summer's on us. Well, it's in April. And when you're past April 16th, well, today's the 19th, so yeah, it's going to be hot. We have been looking at the beautiful energies that we can be mindful of. These beautiful energies that are represented by the right and left peripheral flows known as the Pingala and the Ida. The Pingala on the right, Ida on the left. This is the traditional representation. Whereas the Sushumna is the central canal. These are depicted in Indian art as serpents. All traditional cultures depicted energy as serpentine. So the serpent was always part of the healing tradition. The spiritual man, the religious leader, the medicine man always had a representation of a snake because it was the representation of energy. And that is why even the Kundalini, which resides as a dormant potential energy at the base of the spine in the Kanda, even that energy is depicted as a snake, a serpent, that is coiled 3.5 times. And usually they depict it with the tail in the mouth. That's one of the depictions because it is dormant, it is potential. It's not yet raised its hood. You know, it's still down there. It's not yet done. That has not yet happened. Okay. So when these energies have been depicted artistically, the energy on the right, the Pingala, as one serpent, the energy on the left, the Ida, as another serpent. We have these two serpents, and because these energies are not, when we say right and left, it's not that they are only on the right, only on the left. These are energies that are flowing throughout our whole existence. Hence, what is done is that it is depicted as the serpents that are sort of interlacing and coming back. And each of the places these serpents interlace, the Pingala and the Ida, is actually where you have one of the chakra vortices. So you find the base, and it is at this base, what happens is that the coming together of the two energies, the Ida and the Pingala, is the first of the centers. And at the last, the divergence of these energies is the sixth. It is a very interesting concept. The way what is done here is a very, very interesting concept. And the coming together and the divergence. Yukta Triveni. There's a word used. Yukta, Y-U-K-T-A. Yukta implies that they are coming together. Yukta means to yoke together, to bring together. So at the Mooladhara, the base center, and we will do a whole series of sessions on the chakras because each one of the chakras needs 3 or 4 sessions. It's so detailed. And depending on how long people stay at home, that much more we'll go into it. The coming together of these energies. What are the 3 energies? 3 Veni. 3 means 3. Veni are flows. And this is why in one of my first sessions I mentioned that Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. These are the rivers that are there, but these are the metaphoric energy flows that are linked to the Ida, Pingala and Sushumna nadis. The coming together of the 3, one is always in the center, the Sushumna. The Pingala and the Ida, they come together. So the Ida, Pingala and Sushumna have come together at the Mooladhara. So it is called Yukta Triveni. The 3 flows of energies are coming together at the base center. There's a sense of cohesiveness coming together. And then they continue to have this dance of serpents, energies dancing together. And at the Ajna is where they finally leave. They leave in their own directions. What is happening? The energy on the right, remember Pingala going to the left brain, energy on the left Ida going to the right brain, they diverge away and the Sushumna continues down. So there they are diverging, they are going their own way. There is a sense of liberation, freedom. It is called Mukta Triveni. M-U-K-T-A. Yukta, Y-U-K-T-A and M-U-K-T-A. Yukta is where they come together, these 3 energy flows, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, come together at the base center, and at the Ajna, they are liberated and they can go their own ways. Up to that point, they are all crisscrossing. This is the first crisscross, this is the last crisscross. Yukta, Mukta, Triveni. So when we are working with the nostrils, we are very consciously, and in yoga we have to be very careful because we use the word conscious. And this word conscious is a very dangerous word because for most psychologists, for most medical people, when you say conscious, you just mean the person can see and feel what's happening in the world. So we say the patient is conscious and well oriented with time, place and person, which means basically they can see you, and if you say how are you, they say yes or no. And if somebody is standing there, they say who's that person, they say my wife or my husband or my child. And what day is it? Well, today is Sunday. I think most of us are totally messed up in this. What month, what day of the week, what date? Oh my God, it's just today, yesterday and tomorrow. I think that's where we are working. But the moment somebody can identify the time, place and person and respond to your, words, you see they are conscious. But in yoga, when we use the term conscious, we mean basically what would be understood as a super conscious stage. It is a stage where you are conscious of your own consciousness. That is why it is called awakening. Now, if you ask most people what is awakening, they say that's what happens in the morning when the alarm bell goes and I wake up. That is a different type of waking up. Awakening is where you start to have the ability to go a step above and beyond, and from there you can start to perceive things in a much bigger perspective. We could call it a metacognitive stage. That is where the Vairagya comes in. Vairagya and Viveka are so important for that consciousness to happen. So whenever we use the word conscious in yoga, it is not conscious as understood in general language. It means that you are aware. It means that you are mindful. Mindful, full of mind, not mindless, less of mind. So it is very important that we are consciously working with ourselves, which means mindfully, willingly, and with a sense of discernment. Where does the discernment come in all of these activities? From the prefrontal cortex. This part is where it all comes. That prefrontal cortex is actually where the power of choice comes. So we are making a choice. That is where the Ichcha Shakti comes into being. Ichcha means intent. Ichcha comes into being. I want to do it. Second question is, what am I doing? That is the Jnana Shakti. You need to know what is happening. So, Ichcha, intent, Jnana, which is knowing, and then Kriya, which means to actually do it. You need to know what you need to do. You need to want to do it, and you need to do it. So, all of these three have to come together, which is the power of the Buddhi and a power that manifests in our Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now, when we talk about the koshas, many people just think of them as layers and they're already there. Ammaji used to very beautifully say, she said they are potential layers, which means that they exist, but they may not be switched on for many people. Annamaya is definitely switched on, Pranamaya is definitely switched on, even to some extent Manomaya for most people. But the Vijnana and Anandamaya, God knows whether it's switched on or not, because there's such mindless behavior. When people behave in a mindless, undiscerning manner, and they are caught in instinctive reactions and reflexes, I don't know whether the Vijnana and Anandamaya really are working in that point of time in those people. Maybe it will work later, maybe it has worked in the past, but at the present moment, there is some doubt. So when we are doing this work, what we are doing is mindfully, by choice, by knowledge, and by action. So the three aspects are being brought together. And we say, I am going to work on my right nostril breathing. I am going to work on my left nostril breathing. I am going to breathe in through this nostril and that nostril and this. It is a mindful practice. Now, before this is done, the people have to be breathing in an adequate manner. Again, this is a very big issue when it comes to pranayama sadhana. Pranayama sadhana requires that you are breathing at least 60% of your capacity. Till that point, your whole breathing apparatus is taken up with just surviving, keeping you alive. So you breathing in, breathing out is just to keep you alive. It is only when you are breathing more than 60% of your capacity mindfully and you know what you are doing, because where the mind goes, the prana flows. Yato mana tata prana. And you are going to hear me say this upteen number of times. Because this is the key. That we have to mindfully be able to say that I am going to breathe into each and every part of my lungs to the maximum possible potential that I have. Now, what is happening with most people? They don't even know that they have a back part of the lungs. And often I'm surprised, very, very surprised, when I get into yoga circles, yoga teaching circles and yoga therapy circles, and people have never even thought about the fact that there's a backside to the lungs. When you say breathe, it's like the head goes up and down. So many people. We have to understand we have the low, mid, and upper parts of the lungs. There's the front, side, and back, and an inner aspect of the lungs. This is the concept of vibhaga. Each section you have to be able to mindfully focus your mind so that the air can move there. And when the air moves there with consciousness and mindfulness, the energy is flowing there. When the prana is flowing, then your practice becomes pranayama. Till then it is vayu yama or something like that. It's not pranayama. The prana moves only when you are breathing at a capacity more than 60% of what you can do. Then you have energy to do it. It's like, if you are getting a salary and you have to make do with your day-to-day life. Now, there has to be a certain amount before you can start to do, the very special things in life. Because the bare necessities, the basic needs, Abraham Maslow talks about the hierarchy of needs. Something like that. The basic needs have to be fulfilled. You need to spend money on, getting food, paying your rent, paying the electricity, paying the internet, paying the telephone, all of that. Then if you have money, you can start thinking of joining Dr. Ananda's online classes. See, the thing is, I am not selling myself, okay? That's the last thing I'd ever do. Altruistic yogi is how one of my dear students likes to describe me. I don't know the yogi part, but altruism, I think it's my second nature. Coming back, we have diverged a lot today. These energies, if they are to flow, we should be breathing. So you have people doing the so-called alternate nostril breathing. One of the first things they learn. They have not even learned how to breathe because nobody's ever taught them. They have never thought they need to learn how to breathe. People say, I know how to breathe. I've survived 46 years in this body, or 56 years in this body, or 35 years in this body. Teach me something else. I know how to breathe. You teach them relaxation, I know how to relax. They don't know anything. They don't know how to breathe. They don't know how to relax. This is the biggest issue because we think we know it. What we are doing is barely surviving. If you want the prana to move, you need to really be breathing in such a mindful manner that every part, every nook and corner of your respiratory system is being used in a mindful manner. At that point, the prana will open up, just like a lotus opening up to the morning sun, or a sunflower opening up as the sun comes up. That is the type of energy you want to generate and you want to experience in the pranayama. So people are doing alternate nostril breathing. They are not breathing in the first place. So all they are doing is a finger-nose exercise. Modern pranayama is a finger-nose exercise. Maybe it's good for your fingers and your nose. Excellent. Well done. I love that fact. But it is not a pranayama because the prana is not moving. So make sure that when you breathe, you are breathing like. And when you are breathing out, there should be the beautiful usage of your whole apparatus. God, divine, universe, nature, the supreme being, intelligence has given you this respiratory apparatus for your use, not for your disuse, misuse and abuse. We need to use it. Right useness, using everything that we have in the right useness, using it as it is meant to be used. That is what yoga is about. So, we are going to be breathing in the right nostril, Surya Nadi or Surya Pranayama. When we breathe in the left, Chandra Nadi or Chandra Pranayama. Then, as we saw yesterday, you could breathe in right, out left, in left, out right. Please note, I started on the right here. This is very particular to the Gitananda tradition, where we talk about at least 120 different pranayamas. Now, there are the 8 classical pranayamas, but then there are many practices that are part of the oral tradition. Yoga has always been an oral and oral. O-R-A-L, A-U-R-A-L. Both are pronounced the same way. Oral tradition. Karna parampara. It is through the mouth of the guru to the ear of the student that it has been passed down. What we have as a written tradition is very minimalistic. It is the tip of the iceberg. So I'm not saying it's not important, but please understand there's much, much more than what has been projected out in the name of yoga. Coming back, you start on the right, out left, in left, out right. So what are you doing? You are working on the left brain, followed by the right brain, followed by the left brain, followed by the right brain. So what has happened? There is a beautiful sense of activation. Aloma Viloma, A-L-O-M-A. Aloma Viloma, V-I-L-O-M-A. Aloma Viloma is where we are working with these energies this way. The commonly found Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan, Anulom Vilom, which is practiced in most traditions, starts on the left. And it is a breathing in the left, out the right, in the right, out the left. So what is happening there? In left, right brain, followed by left brain, followed by right brain, followed by left brain. You're having this in, out, and there is this beautiful sense of calming down, because what has happened is left is right, right is left, and you end up with the left. So you end up with the right brain. It is a very beautiful, tranquilizing, peaceful, serenity-inducing practice. Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan, or Anulom Vilom as practiced in most traditions. It is a very beautiful pacifier. It is a very beautiful calming practice. However, the word Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan implies a sense of purification, not peacefulness. Purification, cleansing, cleaning. And you know how it is when you clean anything. You don't just go into the room that is all dusty and say, "Will you please be clean? Clean. Nothing will get clean. You have to go and you have to do a very dynamic action if you want to really clean something. And that is why the Nadi Shodhan and Nadi Shuddhi of the Gitananda tradition is a very dynamic practice. And this is a practice that normally we do not share outside the ashram atmosphere. And I just have been pushed into sharing this somehow with all of you online. But before that, let us do a few rounds of the right initiated. And just remember a key word for today. The nostril you initiate the practice determines the effect of the practice. This is the result of numerous studies we have done, all are available on academia. You can go on academia and search for Bhavanani, or ResearchGate and search for Bhavanani, or SlideShare, search for Bhavanani. It will come up. There are not too many Bhavananis in yoga out there. Most of them are in business. But there are a lot of teachers and filmmakers in Bhavananis. But anyway, you will find these papers there. Most of these papers, well, all of them actually, that we have done on uni-nostril and alternate nostril breathing have come to the conclusion that the nostril in which you initiate the practice determines the overall benefit of the practice. So if you initiate a pranayama on the right nostril, it is going to be activatory. If it is initiated on the left, it is going to be relaxatory. This is a very key bottom line I want you to understand in this. Right nostril, Pingala Nadi, sympathetic nervous system. Left nostril, Ida Nadi, parasympathetic nervous system, vagal tone. Vagus and polyvagal have become very popular these days. That's the left nostril. Okay, let's do a few rounds of these two practices. What we are going to do is, we are going to breathe in, out left, in left, out right. We will do this maybe 6 rounds. Then we will do the opposite. Left in, right out, right in, left out for another 6 rounds. Okay? That's what we are going to do as a practice today. So join me. We will adopt the Savitri Pranayama pattern, which means we'll be breathing in for 6, holding for 3, out for 6, holding for 3. all the pranayamas in the Gitananda tradition are primarily based on the Savitri. Savitri is a life-giving energy. I'll talk about it a bit more on another occasion. When you're holding the breath in, I want you to either just a mild Jalandhara Bandha or at least the Aprakasha Mudra. I've talked about it in an earlier session, which is the swallowing action. So when you breathe in and then you're swallowing, this is the safety guard. This is like a breaker in your electrical circuit, the fuse in your electrical circuit to make sure you don't harm yourself. Okay? Performing the Vishnu Mudra, or if you are comfortable with the Nasarga Mudra, I leave it to your choice. I am not here to tell you what to do. Okay? I'll give you information, you make the choice. You are hopefully a thinking human being. That is the type of people I like to teach, not a herd of sheep. Okay? I am not here to have thousands of sheep in my class. I could do that by going out in a meadow and teaching them if I want. I am trying to teach thinking human beings. Okay, so I hope you are. Okay, I'm going to use the Vishnu Mudra because here I can place this right at the Bhru Madhya. Okay, and this reminds me of the Sushumna. The thumb reminds me of my Pingala and my little finger of my Ida. Okay, breathing out. Breathing in through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Out. Left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. In. Left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Out. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Relax your hand down to the lap. Sit quietly contemplating the beautiful energies you have educed from within yourself, experiencing a beautiful sense of energization. The Aloma Viloma is an alternate nostril pranayama that enables a sense of balance, but in a dynamic way. A dynamic, active sense of balance where you are balanced yet ready to face the challenges of the world. It is like you are balanced, but you are more on your toes, and if required, you can respond appropriately to the challenges. A very harmonious sense of the right and left brain, knowing each other, understanding each other, communicating with each other. And when we do it with the Savitri Pranayama pattern, a very beautiful sense of life, energy flows through us. Excellent. I hope you have all been doing it and not just sleeping there. We are all doing it? Good. Okay. Now let's do the reverse. The reverse is we are going to be breathing in the left, out the right, in the right, and out the left. This is what is commonly taught as Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan, Anulom Vilom. And it is a pacifying. So whereas the Aloma Viloma was balancing, but there was an active balance, here there is a balance, but it is a passive balance. So depending on what you need in your life, if you need balance, all of us need balance, but if you need an active balance, the right nostril initiated practice, and if you need a relaxed balance, left nostril initiated. Both of them will produce balance, but both of them are working on harmonizing the energies of the right and left. But one is going to have the dynamic activity. The second is going to have that sense of passive, relaxed balance. Okay, let's do the second version for 6 counts. Again using the Savitri, 6-3-6-3, and I'm using the Vishnu Mudra here. Okay, sitting with your spine erect and aligned. Breathing out. Breathe in. Left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out. Left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In. Right. Left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out. Left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In. Left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. In, right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3. Relax your hands down to the thighs and just enjoy the beautiful sense of balance. The balance this time, one of a passive, relaxed balance, manifesting, helping a sense of restfulness to manifest physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. A harmonious sense of balance percolating right down to each and every cell. Right down to the atomic, subatomic level, the cellular level, the tissue, the organs, the systems, the twin branches of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic, the parasympathetic, the right and the left brains, equal and opposite energies that are part and parcel of our existence, having a beautiful sense of balance by performing the alternate nostril breathing practices. These amazing techniques, which when done mindfully, when done with a proper usage of more than 60% of our breathing capacity, enable the prana to fully manifest in us, enhancing our experience of the prana itself. Rubbing your palms together, generating a nice warmth, placing the warmth over your eyes, forehead, and the head. We have today taken a look at the Aloma Viloma and what is commonly called Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan or Anuloma Viloma. One practice starting on the right, the other starting on the left. Both of them aimed at producing a sense of balance. We'll be back in a few moments for the synchronized global prayer. And every day we'll continue to explore these practices taking them further as we can go and keep practicing them. We'll be back soon.